Entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I have a problem with that part of the minutes.
Oh,
There's a typo on there.
okay,
On the
good.
first page, under current officers, Vice Chair Ray Akabuchi, motion was made and seconded by Vince Pannoni for Randy to remain current officer. That should be Ray to remain current officer.
Okay,
Other than that, motion to approve.
right, because you couldn't have two jobs. That would be too much. Overwhelming. All right, thanks.
I know.
All right, now that we've listened to the corrections, any other additions or corrections? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve it as corrected.
I'll make the motion.
Thanks, Steve. Second. All righty, now we're down to filing all bank statements for audit, and there's a lot of bank statements.
We have audience comments first.
Oh, wait, I see that, sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. Audience comments, any audience comments?
There were no audience. We did not get any public comment.
We used to actually have people comment back when, Steve Koziak was here.
Right. But it was posted to our website and I
Yes.
did not hear
Oh,
anything.
exactly, all right. Special. Right in none, okay. The PAPB monthly report. Correspondence and announcements.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that the PACD Southeast Region meeting for the spring will take place on March 27th at 10 in Harleysville. And anyone from our board is welcome to attend. I plan on being there.
Right.
So I'll send out another reminder. At some
Okay,
point.
good, yeah. They are interesting. I'll try to be there.
But it's a good gathering of all the agencies. It's rare that all those agencies get together in the same room.
Right. And there's a lot of chat between them, which is nice.
Yeah.
All righty. Any other things from the PACD monthly report? There's something from happening in February, another meeting of some sort. Maybe it's in Shannon's report. Whatever. We shall move along until I find to go down. All righty. So next up, to file all bank statements for audit. Now you can see that, right?
Yes, thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to
I'll
file
make
all
that
bank
motion.
statements. Okay,
Second.
we need it. And Wayne, thank you, Wayne. All right. Need we go through these separately?
No, they can all be
Yeah, they can all be
grouped
done.
in one region.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Next up, a motion request to transfer $2,305.32 from the affiliate fund money market to ACAP account.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, sorry.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Another motion request to reimburse Chester County Conservation District in the amount of $3,955.55 for ACAP services.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or additions? All in favor?
Aye.
Right, okay. To transfer UGWF/PUC fund to Delaware County in the amount of $73,159.19. UGWF.
Yes, that is the
Unconventional gas well.
fund.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty, another motion.
Yeah, I'll make that.
Okay, good.
I'll second.
Any other comments on this?
I can offer a quick explanation. The the Public Utility Commission, allocates funds to every conservation district in the state. The amount is equal to each county throughout the state. It's a one-time annual allocation, and we transfer the full allocation to the county to offset our operational expenses. So that comes from the Pennsylvania Unconventional Gas Well Fund from the Public Utility Commission. So that's the purpose of that payment.
Right.
And what is that fund supposed to be for?
What is it, funding or where
Yeah.
it's been come from?
Well, unconventional gas well,
That's a great question.
It's a fracking thing, right?
Yes, so there were, I don't know if it was fines, or fees paid by, utility companies who access gas wells in Pennsylvania. But it all went into a pot of money to offset, conservation districts. And I'm not sure if it goes anywhere else in the state, or if it's specifically for conservation districts. But that's a good question, and I'll get an answer for next month.
Because they do come up with.
Yes.
Right. All right, do we vote on that one? No, we just discussed it, right?
No, we
Um,
voted on,
We did vote it? Okay, good, thank you.
motion in a second.
yeah,
Okay, and
it was
all
Randy.
of,
I don't think we all said.
all in favor then?
Aye.
Aye. That's a question. Okay, next one is to transfer CDFAP quarterly reimbursement to Delaware County in the amount of $46,031.28. Conservation District FAP.
Fund allocation program.
Fund allocation program.
So again, that's to offset the cost of one technician and the manager's salary. So that's that transfer over to the county operational budget.
Alrighty. Ready?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thanks, Randy.
I'll second.
Thank you, Steve. Any other comments or questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we're down to the fun part, old business. Board of Directors composition change.
Yes, so I updated everyone during the last board meeting that we did have, the composition of our board changed. So we removed one farmer, position and replaced it with a public position. So we sent out nomination requests to all of our nominating agencies. We have not gotten any nominations, which is a little frustrating, but I am expecting that, a lot of these agencies have monthly or bi-monthly meetings.
Right.
So we may not hear for another month or so. But hopefully we will hear something soon, because I think we're on up to a year for having a vacancy on our board.
That's right. It
Yeah.
has been that long, the
That's good.
involving of what was happening. Excellent. Okay, well, let's hope somebody volunteers soon. Now, these are all the places that we normally send them to.
Correct.
We get a kind of meager response anyway.
Yeah, and the change doesn't take away the possibility of having a farmer.
Right,
So we can be a non-traditional farmer, maybe an urban farmer, or,
Maybe we need to let urban farmers know that.
right. I think our sustainability commission is letting folks know, and I
Okay,
also
good.
met with the Farm Bureau Director for our region, so he's also on the lookout.
Okay, good.
And they're one of our appointed agencies.
Yes, they are.
Contact list for urban farms.
I don't. They change frequently, NRCS might have one, so I might reach out to Wes and see if they have a list, and, maybe we can do some outreach that way.
Hey,
Yeah, I think if you do want to, I'll try to remember too. But I do have a couple of people that I work with in Delaware County that they would both be farmers. But I mean, I'd be more than happy to put you in contact with them if they would be interested in doing that.
Sure, okay.
excellent. That'd be a big help. Because then we could have the flexibility.
Yes.
That would be very helpful. Thanks, Wes. Okay. That's it for the Board of Directors. Watershed Specialist quarterly reports and reimbursement delays.
Yeah, so, during the last meeting, again, I mentioned that, we've been submitting watershed specialist reimbursements, the same as we always have, and DEP was asking for something different to support the expenses. So, let's see, I was working with our HR department, the controller's office and the budget director to try to sort this out, to get an actual expense for the position. And I just wasn't getting any clear answers, so our reimbursements have been delayed. DEP saw that we were making a good faith effort, and we sent them all the information that we were given, so they are temporarily allowing us to calculate our expenses in the same way that we have, and they are moving the last two reimbursements forward.
Okay.
So we are able to get reimbursed, but the expectation is that we're gonna keep after the county to get the accurate documentation. So we are staying on top of that.
Alrighty, that's good news. Moving right along. Next up, new business. County revenue discussions. Oh, do tell.
Yeah, so, let's see, the county's budget director reached out to me and Sue, who's on the call today, to support this discussion if need be. But the county's budget director reached out just recently, indicating that we did not meet our expected revenue for this year to the county. So when we made our changes back in March for the personnel additions, we estimated that our increase in revenue would be about $51,000. So we made an adjustment in our budgeted revenue from $280,000 up to $331,000 to satisfy that expectation. So we met that. We brought in to the county $333,000, give or take a few hundred. The budget director reached out and said that he was expecting to see an increase of $51,000 above what we actually brought in 2023. So he was expecting to see $351,000 in our revenue, which to me is comparing apples to oranges, because budgeted amount and our estimated increase, our budget amount was 280, our estimated increase was $51,000. And our expenses certainly did not meet $51,000 because we had lots of position changes this year.
Right.
So that's, Sue and I have been looking back at our numbers. Sue, is there anything that you want to add to that? She's there. Sue, you're muted if you're on.
I'm sorry, I'm here.
Okay. Is there anything that you wanted to add to that?
I don't think so. You kind of covered it, Karen. We are still going to have discussions moving forward. Karen and I vehemently, can it be said that way, disagree with the understanding. And we'll defend your position that we met our obligation. Your board met your obligation. We will certainly keep you posted. Obviously, we haven't been able to brief Elaine as yet. We would like to know her thoughts and recommendations before we go any further, but I think it's going to work out okay. Like I said, we are both defending your position that it was exactly what we anticipated, and if there were questions, they should have been asked months ago. So
Right.
I think it will be okay.
Good.
Yeah, I have some questions left for the budget director, including, if that was the expectation, why was that never communicated?
Right.
And, there were multiple people that we had to get approvals from to get the budget increased. So, you know, Sue and I are definitely on the same page. Sue is our financial analyst, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for calling me, Sue. So,
And defending us.
yes, and she's very familiar with how our funds have worked over the years.
Right.
So, our next step, we want to chat with Elaine, and see what she thinks, you know, being that she's our council liaison and a board member. And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Yeah. Are there any questions or any feedback from
It's just weird to kind of pull this now.
Yes, one comment that the budget director made was that the county is in a deficit and they need non-tax revenue. So,
I see, right,
There.
that's what I thought, of course, yeah, right. They're looking for any possible. Don't they can get out of it.
so, you know, I am a little frustrated.
I think so
If
is
they
too.
need, if they need additional revenue, there could have been a different discussion rather than accusing us of not meeting our obligation.
Right, exactly.
So I would like to talk to Elaine and see what she thinks. And then hopefully have a meeting with, Mr. Hayes to ask my questions. He did ask, to meet with members of the district, but I don't know if that's necessary at this time. But if we get there, you know, I'm happy to invite him to a board meeting. So that's where we're at with that.
Wonder what he thinks we do. Just wondering.
That's why I'm trying to deflect that. I don't.
Right,
think
right,
there's
exactly.
much to accomplish there. So,
Well, this is an interesting turn of events.
it is, yes.
Oh. Well, I know they're desperately looking for money now, so they look for any nook or cranny they could possibly squeeze anything out of.
Yeah, I think similar conversations, maybe not similar, but similar goals. From the budget office have tried, you know, they've tried to come to us for additional revenue.
Oh, in the past they have.
Yes.
Oh, yes, they have.
And there's all of our funds have restrictions on how we can spend it. So hopefully there's a chance to sit down with the budget director and go over those, you know, what our funds are intended for.
Right.
And our memorandum of understanding that we had approved as well. So
Yay.
so I think we're good.
Right.
I just want to give everyone that update and see if there were any questions or feedback or input from the board.
Right. Well, I think you're doing a good job defending our position with you and Sue, and we shall see what happens, knowing that they are really just scouring for extra funds.
Yes.
We may not be the right place to look.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sue.
Thanks.
You're
Nick.
very welcome. You're very welcome. Like I said, Karen and I are very much in sync. She said it, and we'll defend it. I appreciate the challenges that the county has, but don't appreciate an afterthought of, hey, maybe here's a place. Doesn't work that way. It's not fair. It's not right, and we'll defend it.
Right, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Next item. That's interesting. Stream cleanup donations for DCVA and CRC watersheds associations. We do this every year. And I don't remember how much we usually give them.
So we've changed it over the years. We often, recently we've contributed $300 each to DCVA and CRC in support of their stream cleanups. Previously, we used to go out and purchase supplies
Right.
and then give them the supplies. So we would, I think it was like, we could purchase supplies up to say $300 and then bring it directly to them. Writing checks has been a lot easier.
Indeed.
And they do appreciate it. They reach out to us every year requesting donations. So for this one, I would like to seek a motion if the board would like to contribute again for the stream cleanups for CRC and DCBA.
And I would be in favor of
Let's
that.
do 300 again for each.
Sure, whatever you all would want to see.
You think that's reasonable for them? Do they need, I mean, the cost of things are rising. I don't know whether they need more money or whatever. And I like the idea of them being able to use it how they need
Sure.
it. And not making a, here's a bunch of gloves, kind of.
Right, right. I will say, I think, and I'll pick Chris's brain for this, but I think at least DCBA's event has grown incredibly over the years. They're not doing just one day, they're spreading it out. Is that correct?
Yeah, this year they have, April 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th, and each day has, I think, 4 or 5 cleanups.
Wow,
So
right,
they're getting after it.
right, they are indeed. That's great.
CRC does a lot, one day, everywhere.
They do, yes, because CRC over, they have 3 watersheds. One of which is the largest watershed in Delaware County.
Chester.
Yep. So I will say both of their events have definitely grown over the years.
Right. So do you recommend we give them more?
I'm sure they would appreciate it.
I would think so. I mean, things are getting more expensive. Their jobs are not getting any easier. I'm not saying I'm money, but it just seems to me that, since they're doing so much, especially since they're doing every weekend, I mean, for DCBA, sounds like a pretty good thing. So how much do you think we should, or does that discussion? Talk amongst yourselves, whether you think we should raise the amount or not.
Just gonna say one more comment to add from their letter that they sent to our office, their bottom like gift number is 500. So it goes up from there. So
Uh-huh.
As far as their like sponsorship.
yeah, it's fun, like the standard like templates for 500 to 700 to
For which one?
that ladder for CRC. Yeah.
We do
I'd say
have,
raise it up to 750.
That for each Randy or for both combined?
Both combined.
$375.
375 each, make it 300. Why don't we make it even and make it 400?
That sounds good.
Okay, okay. Any more further discussion from others about 400 maybe? Do I hear, like the auctioneer here?
Were all those, you said the lowest was 500?
Right.
Yeah, for the CRC Watershed Association's letter that they sent out for like this, reply with your gift, their bottom number is 500.
You could fill in the blank and give less than that if you want.
I'm sure they would.
Whatever, throw out the line, it's the answer.
Now you gotta get more.
Yeah, right, exactly. They're not gonna turn it back. But for now, this is a median increase.
Yeah, and we can,
Right.
we ask this every year, so if we want to revisit it next year, we
Right.
can
Okay,
discuss it again then as well.
so how does everybody feel about the 400 one?
Like that.
Okay?
That's good.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, so Randy and Steve. Al. And your name is Steve Al.
Works.
Okay. It's been moved, it's been seconded. Any discussion beyond this? Already. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, good. So now they get 400.
Hey, thank you.
All right. Next up, advance payment request in the amount of $12,250 to Lindsay's Garden for an ACAP project. Which ACAP project is this?
This is for Lindsay's Garden in Chatsport. So this was the project that we awarded last month. They have they're a floriculture operation.
Huh.
A family just moved into this whole farm in Chatsport. And they sell flowers throughout the year. They sell, dry flowers in the winter and the things, and then they have honey too. So I went to their operation last month with Bree to have them sign a contract, prevailing wage. Go over all the contract information with them, and they are itching to get started. They actually have materials coming in. So I do have an invoice from them. from their contractor, which actually comes out to about $16,000. Our local policy for ACAP indicates that we do not issue 50% advances unless justified.
Right.
So because they're already ordering materials and we have an amount in front of us, I would like to request a motion to issue them a 50% advance to give them some working capital. And that amount would be $12,250.
$250.
Yes, $250. Yep.
Okay. Ready? So. Any discussion on this? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Alrighty, thanks, Randy. A second,
I was thinking,
DB. Alright. Moved, seconded, any further discussion? Alrighty. Let's go flowering. Okay,
Well, thank you,
excellent.
Roland.
All in favor? Thank you.
I,
Next up is our fabulous financial forms. We all love to fill these out.
So I will ask everyone to please fill out your financial interest statements, and then send them back to me. I put them in an envelope and into a drawer. We are required, public employees are required to fill them out and file them, as are all of our board members.
Okay,
I believe you do this every year.
yes, we do.
If you have any specific questions about the form, I'm probably not the right person to ask.
They're rather vague questions too. It's
They
kind of
are.
like hard to log it down. I mean, but generally, we get it done. So please fill yours out and send it to Karen.
You can either mail them or drop them off, bring them with you next time.
Right. Okay, good. Alrighty, next up, moving to reports from cooperating agencies. Wes, what have you got to say?
Good afternoon, everybody. My report is pretty short. We have 2 EQIP applications. That's our financial assistance program, 2 applications in Delaware County. We're working on those as far as where we are in the process. We're working on the ranking where we take all of the applications for similar practices and rank those for environmental benefit. And then start at the top of that list and work our way down through until the funding is exhausted. We also have 2 CSP applications, and CSP works a little bit different than EQIP in that it also takes into account what the farmer has already done or is currently doing that is beneficial to the environment. So it's a combination of the good things that they're doing now and a new enhancement that they would adopt. So same basic concept, payment structured a little bit different. We do have 2 applications in Delaware County for that program as well. So we're just kind of working through the ranking process for those, and I don't have too much of an update as far as any other activities that we're working on there. We're continuing to do the rankings and other items through the Farm Bill program as directed, and any kind of change with just items that we work on. I'll just keep you updated as those occur, but otherwise it's pretty much business as usual. So I think that's all I have. If anybody has any questions, I can take those.
Any questions for Wes?
Wes, I have a question that maybe you've gotten. Is NRCS paying attention to any of the federal funding freezes or any of those discussions? Is there any insight you can share with us?
The general guidance that we've gotten is that we're going through the ranking and most of the contracting process, but we're not obligating contracts currently. It's more of an issue of kind of a pause until we get a little bit more guidance as far as administration changes. And that's fairly typical. There's generally some kind of pause on those kind of items. As far as the contracts themselves, we're continuing to make payments on Farm Bill program contracts. We're holding off on any actions, both ranking and payment for the Inflation Reduction Act contracts that we had used for the cover crop program, because we're really not sure at this point if that program is going to continue or not. So I'd say 90% of the general contracting that we do, we're just doing business as usual. The last 10% is kind of affected by the funding and payment freeze.
Thank you. So I'm bringing that also. Thank you. Well, thanks, Wes. Thanks for joining us. All right, next Shannon. Where's Shannon? Oh, there she is.
Hi, everyone. Oh,
A picture of Shannon today. We got a picture of her.
sorry I couldn't be there today. And of course, I just exited out of my talking points, so 1 second. Okay, so just a couple things to highlight. The Growing Green 2024 Growing Greener grant recipients are out, and they are on the DEP website. Official announcements through regional press releases are forthcoming. There is a leadership development employment law seminar. I think that's what you guys were talking about with PACD. That is on Thursday, February 20th in Allentown.
Right.
Yes. I think there's still time to register. Not sure. I can look into that though. And then another save the date is the 2025 annual watershed specialist meeting, which is October 7th to 8th in State College. So save the date for that. Just another update on speed. We just had a speed meeting actually today. The DEP received 7 bids for qualified professionals under the speed program and is a process of evaluating those bids. And so far, including today, DEP has held 4 statewide webinars with districts to discuss speed. So more information to follow with that. And then I think that is all. I did want to ask Karen, can you send me an email about the watershed specialist quarterly reports delays?
Yeah, sure.
Just so, yeah, so I can look more into that. And you guys were breaking up. What questions did you guys have on Act 13, the unconventional gas well funds? Did you guys have questions on that?
Yeah, Steve was asking, what is that funding? Why do we get that money? Is that right, Steve? Pretty much, yeah. What's the source of that funding?
The source of the fund? I know that it since we don't have a lot of wells, abandoned wells here, I know that in other districts, the funding is actually used to plug abandoned wells. But, and you guys just get the money, even though you guys don't have any, is my understanding. I'm not really that familiar with it as well. Just because it's not active here. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it was sort of an attempt to make things fair and have one set of people not be the only ones who get it, that everybody got something out of
Yes.
it, because in some way we were all going to be affected by the bid, air or whatever. Water, whatever. I think.
I'll look more into it too, Shannon.
Yeah, I am as well, because now that I'm questioning it. But it is the Act 13 fund.
And that's you're referring to the Public Utility Commission funds, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And that is all I have.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Shannon.
Yep.
It's nice to see you.
So nice to see you guys.
Thank you very much. Okay, we shall move on to Karen's report.
So I wanted to mention, DEP's draft MS4 permit is out. They're accepting public comment for March 19th. I don't know that that the changes in this permit are going to filter down to us. For the county's permit, for the one that we hold for all the county facilities, but it is interesting. We got a lot of questions from municipalities with help interpreting the permit and carrying out their minimum control measures. And I did want to mention, I reviewed the permit and DEP is incorporating volume control requirements with this permit, which is new. So, and I don't know if it's in addition to their pollutant reduction plan or, if it's in place of. But they do want to see stormwater volume control.
Really?
So they want to see that, those reductions, which is, I think it's gonna be tough for municipalities probably
Right.
to implement that. But it's going to, if it goes through, it'll impact in a very positive way a lot of our communities.
Right.
Hopefully reduce
That's what I
the
think.
flooding impacts.
But have they defined volume control?
Didn't get that deep into it, but I did see that the volume control points or credits will apply to each municipality rather than the watershed as a whole.
Okay.
So each municipality will be required to reduce stormwater volume by X amount
Hmm.
rather than trying to reach an overall goal in the watershed, which I understand because each municipality is the individual permit holder. But you know, if one municipality is implementing stormwater volume controls in one watershed, if they're bisected, you know, then the other watershed is kind of getting the short
Right.
stick. So I thought it was interesting. If anyone else wants some light reading, I'm happy to share that permit draft with all of you. But it is exciting to see that they're doing volume control. I've heard rumors about that, so. I just wanted to share that I reviewed that and I tuned into the PHC Executive Council meeting. They had folks from, I believe, USDA, so I wanted to hear what they had to say about any federal funding changes, but it seems like Wes said, you know, everything's business as usual and we're just paying attention.
Right. Up until, right?
Yeah. The only question I heard, like, someone was a little concerned about ACAP funding, but that began as ARPA money that was already dispersed to states and then dispersed to each county conservation district. So we already have the money in our bank account. It's our program with our policies, so that money's fine. Our projects are fine. Sue and I have been talking a lot about budget issues.
Right.
I did get out of the office a little bit with Chris. We went to Ridley Creek State Park to meet with Delco Anglers and CRC to talk about some of their stream bank issues. So I don't know if he's gonna go more into that, but we are looking to help them out with some of their erosion issues.
Good.
That is all that I wanted to highlight for now, unless anyone has any questions.
Any questions? Looks like you're off the hook.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Karen. Next up, Michelle.
All right, the only thing, you can see from the report, we've had a lot of pre-application meetings, so, we are still overloaded with new and major amendment applications, and it just, it's like more will be coming in.
Right.
It was a slow inspection month, just due to the snow cover.
Right. And the
Um,
chill.
Right, yeah, yep, so we've had a lot of paperwork to keep us inside as well.
Right, exactly. Good
Um,
thing.
Other than that, unless anyone has any questions, all the permits that were reviewed and meetings are listed.
Mhm. Have 2 pages out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all the
major
meetings,
ones.
right? Righty. 2 notices of termination were denied from that refinery, the Trainer refinery.
Yeah, and both have resubmitted since.
Uh-huh.
So I've looked at the trainer one, and that one is okay. So I currently have an inspection to go out there at the end of the week.
Mhm.
And the other one I've not re-reviewed yet.
Righty. You want to help those people on Marcus Tank?
Oh, yeah, that one's in a couple of spans.
Right, exactly, yeah. Well, thanks, Michelle. Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, that's everything. Let's
Okay.
ask questions.
Next up is Carmen.
Yes, so I went out on a couple of inspections this month. Obviously, it was colder, but yeah, it was a good month to catch up on some paperwork and knocked out the rest of the renewals that we had. No, they did a lot of them too. Some general permit applications, lots of amendments and some terminations, so just trying to stay on top of it all.
I noticed in the little chart thing, whatever it is, they listed Saint Honore as institutional. Which is not institutional.
Sometimes that just happens. I
Okay.
hit the wrong button.
Oh, okay, good. I was wondering whether this guy's a fast one, you gotta, just thought I'd check on it because he does weird things. But I would check. Okay. Next. So that's your exciting report for this month? Thanks, Carmen. I'm glad everybody got their paperwork first.
Yeah, we need like 3 more months.
Right, exactly. Well, don't say that.
Well, I don't want to.
Right, exactly. That keeps it all. All right. I think next up is Jordan, right? You're up now.
So this month, we started sending out our compliance notices for the people that forgot to hand in their renewals for December. So we had some back and forth with those people. Where we've almost gotten responses from everyone, which is good.
Good, yeah.
And then something cool that we found this month was that one of our creeks, Ithan Creek, when we were doing our completeness review for the Ithan Elementary School, it came up like through our review process that it's actually a natural trout reproductive water.
Alrighty.
So the wetlands that were on that property are considered EV because of that. So we had to send an incompleteness letter and they have to apply for an individual permit.
How about that? It's a lot of ground there at Ithan. You know,
They're
the school,
redeveloping the school.
yeah. It needs it. I mean, it needs something, but it's a vast property for an elementary school. And yet, you know, it has steep slopes and has wetlands and all that kind of stuff. But it's neat that there's a natural habitat. Exciting. I guess that our tax bill will go up further for whatever things that have to do there. That's my guess. Whatever things they have to do to ameliorate it. But that's interesting. So tell me again the actual wording of what it is.
It's a natural reproductive water of wild trout fishes. I think that's what it was called.
Sounds good.
It would take like one of those words, maybe.
Pretty long the blue room.
Yes, right,
Yes.
right. There's a nice little park back there too. It's nice. Well, thanks, that's the news. I feel proud to know it. Is that all you had? It was not, you need to top that in any way, no. Thank you, okay, Stuart, you're next.
So similar, just going through paperwork, reviewing some new permit applications coming in, as well as trying to finish up the renewals. Majority of those have gotten issued. had to send a few letters of incompleteness to some that are just delaying some of their paperwork, but I'm in communication with them all to get the final documentation in, to hopefully get all those done. And then, as Jordan mentioned, the compliance letters for the ones who didn't send in anything, when the renewals were due. So just following up with those people, trying to get all that, final paperwork in,
Excellent.
everything else closed out.
And what's this Radnor development the DEP is investigating?
It's one of the, residential lots that they, the permit for us only covered one property in an existing house, but Radnor Township issued building permits to they do the rest of the properties. I forget how many houses go on that one to show.
Where is this property? Do you know where it is?
It's Harvard Lane. So it's off of, I think it's off of
Roberts Road?
Bryn
Bryn Mawr Avenue and
Yeah.
Roberts Road. Yeah,
When you're there, you go underneath the blue roof
right, exactly.
and it would be on your left if you were coming from here.
Right.
So there was an existing house that was built
Right.
on years ago.
Yeah.
And they had applied to build another lot, which they did,
Mhm.
but they built 12 more. lots.
So,
Not being greedy or anything, no.
so they had us go out and do some additional investigation on that to see if they put what they needed to in place. So it's
Uh-huh.
ongoing.
That's good.
Yeah, it was declared for enforcement like 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So it's been in DP's hands. So they've been working with the consultant
Uh-huh.
to make sure that they put in adequate stormwater.
Nice.
The
But nothing
site
gets broke the rules or anything. No, no, what the heck. You did it now, whatever.
Yeah, so they sent us the plan that they submitted to DEP and we just had to go out and verify
Mhm.
that the BMPs were installed. I mean, some were underground, but some were above ground.
Uh-huh.
Some were in people's backyards. Some people were happy to see us, others not so much.
Dealing with the public again.
Yeah. Um,
But good.
so we went out before the snow
Right.
came initially.
Right, exactly. I like these enforcement things.
Yep, so DEP's just waiting on my report and
Right.
take it from there.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you, Stuart, too. Thanks for doing these things. I appreciate it. Ready, next up. This big, long one is from Christopher.
You know why it's long? I use it as my double for capturing my quarterly report activities.
I see.
So two birds in a stone,
Right,
and I just picked from it for you guys.
excellent, right.
For low volume roads, a good update I have, the Newtown Township engineer reached out to our office and let us know they're complete with their project. It was a $35,000 project to implement, infiltration trenches and new inlet boxes to manage some of the stormwater runoff on, Glendale Road over there. So we advanced, I think, 50% of it already, so we should be expecting a request of, so 50% now, once they complete their, all their final reporting and everything. Beyond that, we started to, coordinate all of our Envirothon items. So we're looking at a date of April 29th, 2025 at Ridley Creek State Park. Anybody's welcome to show up or help in any ways if you're interested in that. Karen mentioned earlier also with the Ridley Creek State Park, we started working with the Delco Anglers and Trout Unlimited. They have some stream bank erosion, which is not uncommon in Ridley Creek area at all. But they're interested in developing some trout habitat stuff. They saw, I guess, Karen's historic Christmas tree revetment work. They've heard through the grapevine, seen some of its success as well. So they're interested in doing something like that and maybe a few other things. So we're working with the park now to see kind of what hoops we need to jump through to make it happen, since it's DCNR like property, state property. There's a little bit more involved than just, you know, somebody's private land. But hopefully we can make that happen with them. We also have the Keystone 10 Million Trees Spring Round has come up. So if there's any folks that needs trees or want trees, this Friday would be the deadline to reach out to me and request those. And then a last plug, I see Becca's on the call. I'll say that Delco Beautification Committee cleanup is March 15th. I don't know if you want to add to that and extend that invitation to anybody else that's here in the room.
Sure.
Thanks so much for the shout out. Hi, everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Becca. I'm the County Sustainability Officer. In addition to having our office, we are also an affiliate with Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful called Keep Delco Beautiful. And this is an organization that started last year. And when considering what this group could really do, we decided to move in the direction of using it as kind of a collective of all the other groups in Delaware County that are doing beautification work and litter abatement throughout the year. So what this cleanup event is on March 15th that Chris had mentioned is kind of a formal launch of this kind of unified group of groups that are all working toward beautification and keeping Delco beautiful. So it should be a really fun event for community members to get acquainted with all the different groups that are doing this work, as well as coming together for a cleanup in Sun Village in Chester. So we'd love to see y'all there.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, this is good.
That's all I have on updates.
Excellent.
I will point out that Sun Village Park has been a historic mini grantee of ours.
Yes, I
So we do
know.
have a good
Right.
relationship with those folks down there too.
Enjoy this. Alrighty, and that looks like it wraps us up, doesn't it?
Just Ed's report,
Oh, Ed's report, right, I did read Ed's report, but.
this is a little shorter this
Right,
month.
it is.
He's been out of the office dealing with some personal matters, but he'll be back at it this week and we have plans ready to go.
Things are piling up, right?
Yep, so he'll get us caught up again. I don't think there's, or actually, you know what, we're working on some IT issues for his computer, some of the licensing for DocuWare and Bluebeam. We're trying to go up to speed, actually everyone. So as all of our permit files are getting scanned, you know, we can actually fully make the transition to electronic.
Excellent.
That's all I wanted to share for Ed's report. He's not here to answer questions.
Right, exactly, yeah. But you at least know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. No individual requests for assistance, and the next meeting is March 4th. I will not be here for March 4th. I will be vacationing in Houston. It's strange, but at least it's warmer. So thanks, everybody, and I will entertain a motion
Motion to adjourn.
I don't even get it out before you jump on it, Randy.
There you
All
go.
right, okay, all in favor, yay,
Aye.
thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
See you, folks.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, see you. Thanks so much.
All right,
for
see you, folks.
entertaining.
Go Birds.
Yay.
Birds.
Can you get? Oh, I.